Is that light too bright for you?
Now it should be fine. I can see your faces perfectly. And welcome to part 2 on Friday, 13th March 2020. And we're once again at Awesome Source in Shifnal. And our local paranormal investigators. If you'd like to reintroduce yourselves, please.
So I'm Shell and I'm an investigator with M&A Paranormal.
Hi, I'm Jody. I'm the co-founder of M&A Paranormal and I'm an investigator as well.
So if you'd be so kind as to introduce your tech you've got here, anything else you want to talk about relating to your tech, and what you hope to achieve from being here this evening.
Right, okay. So we've come kind of minimal tonight just because it is a smaller location. So the main bits we've brought with us, we've brought a couple of K2 meters. Now, we're unlikely to use these tonight because we're indoors and it's a small location. There's a lot of electrical outlets. As soon as we turn them on, we're getting quite big hits on them.
So what does these K2 meters usually detect?
K2 meters pick up EMF fields, so electromagnetic fields, which some people say is a way of detecting spirits.
Because they're meant to be like EMF in nature.
Yeah, I guess so. But obviously anything electrical is going to give off a signal which is going to pick up. So in tonight, with them being lit up as you can see right now, I would say that they're pretty much useless for this investigation.
Okay,
because there's no way of proving that if they were lit up that it would be a spirit, because we know already that they're going to be lit up by whatever.
So it would be difficult to tell the difference between standard technology like a phone or a computer,
yeah, so basically when we go to an investigation, indoors or outdoors, one of the first things we'll do is we'll take these and go around the entire building and check for high levels of EMF. So, for example, in our last investigation we did a 17th century, 17th or 16th century watermill.
Yeah,
it's the oldest watermill in the country that's physically working, and so we went around and checked for hotspots with the K2 before we set it up where we were going to put it. We found none where we left it in the end. We left it on a little table. There's no electrical in that room, apart from a light switch which we obviously got off, and we left a locked off camera pointing at that, and we did get a few hits on that. That was pretty good. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What other equipment do you have here tonight, please?
So then next we've got ways of so these are more for detecting spirit, and everything else is more for communicating with them. So the first item we've got is the pendulum. Now I'm terrible at the pendulum because I can't keep it still enough, and so you need somebody who's got quite a steady hand to hold it still, like somebody, I don't know, somebody who's really steady. Yeah, I'm not good at it.
Like a tattoo artist or something like that.
The way this works is you would, like a tattoo artist, steady-handed, a drawer or something. So you would hold this, and then some people say you should use it hold it with your right hand. I can't remember now. Right hand, I think.
Yeah.
We use a ring because we tend to put it on our finger because that can be a bit more steadier than holding it in your fingers. So we would make sure it's completely still and ask the spirits to come forward and move the pendulum just to let us know that they're here now. It is moving, but like I said, I'm terrible at keeping it still. And so we'd ask them to, for example, show a yes, and they would move it in either like side to side or back to front or circular motion. And that would determine what the yes response is, and then we do the same for no.
And how would you tell the difference between one direction meaning yes and another direction being no?
Because we say, to begin with, we make sure there's somebody there, so we get them to move it in any direction, and then we ask them to show us the no response, so they'll then move side to side, for example, or forward and backwards. We'll then ask them to show us yes, because there's always like different angles it could go on, just to make sure that they're going to be two different responses. And then we'll go forward with asking yes or no response questions. And so far, every time we've used it, we've got a few good responses from it. So it's quite a good piece of kit that we like.
And I noticed you've got a coin on the table there. What does that for,
Yeah, Jodie, do
please?
you want to do this one? Just because my throat's really dry.
Okay, now what's it called? Because
So it's called either an oracle coin or a decision-making coin or something like that. So it's used a lot by some mediums, whereas they might try and predict your future with the coin. And the way they suggest you use it is you either flip it like you would a regular coin if you're trying to decide whose go it is, for example, in your heads and I'm tails, and you can flip the coin. But this coin just has yes or no. Do you want to show the camera a bit closer?
yeah,
Sorry.
so we got no,
No.
and we got yes.
Yes.
Again, this is used for yes or no answers. So basically, you flip the coin.
Do you catch it in your other hand or let it fall on the floor?
Well, you can do whatever you want. You could either flip it and then put it down like that.
Yeah.
You can either flip it or let it
fall.
But I'm not gonna,
Or
yeah.
a couple of other methods are either spinning it on the table and letting it land, or some suggest that if you play with it in your hands just to get your energy through it, because the idea is that you're asking the spirits to use your energy to sort of guide where it goes, and then you would open your hand up and whatever side it's on, that would be the answer. Obviously, this is one of them ones that you can't really prove as being 100% spirit.
But on our last investigation, we tried this out, and we asked the same question twice. Every answer was the same. So it was either a yes for the two questions that we asked that were exactly the same, or a no for the same.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that
So
proves that it's
you're working toward a concept. I think it's called a double bluff, to make sure that to ensure accuracy as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So okay.
So you could ask it as many times as you want and hope that you would get
the same answer every time. Okay. And forgive me for saying, but I noticed you've got a Ouija board there.
I say, much to popular belief,
what
Ouija boards aren't evil.
Right. Okay. What do you hope to achieve if you do use this Ouija board this evening? What do you hope to achieve for that this evening?
So hopefully this is probably one of the best forms of communication, and I say one of, for getting actual answers rather than just a yes or a no. So if we could, for example, we could ask, where did you die? What year did you die? And the idea is that using the planchette, it will cover over a letter, and that letter will spell out a word or a number. Now, we don't leave it on the board when we're not using it because people say not to. I don't really believe it, but you know.
Are there any myths you like to debunk about the Ouija board? Any silly stories you've heard about the Ouija board that you just say flat out that's just silly? I like to debunk it right now.
Other than the fact that they're like portals and that they're satanic or evil, that we don't believe. However, we do stick to the rules or guidelines for use. So we don't allow the planchette to fall off the board whilst it's in use. If we got like a figure of 8, then we would end the session. We always close down the board correctly at the end of the session.
So there's a procedure or protocol on how to operate the Ouija board.
To open the board, you'd simply place it on. Some people like to move the planchette around
to get energy
flowing into it, and whilst they're asking for the spirits to come forward and use their energy to move the planchette, and then you just simply sit and wait and see if it moved.
So you would, forgive me for asking, you would suggest that if anyone was to use a Ouija board, they'd research what the correct.
100%.
They would research the proper rules
Because-
for operating a Ouija
yeah,
board and
because-
follow those rules.
Yeah, because with any form of communication, you've only got their word of who they are and what they are, what they want, and you never 100% know who you're really talking to. So at the end of the session, once we've decided if maybe the spirit has stopped communicating or maybe we don't like what it's saying and we want to end the session, we then slide the planchette to goodbye, flip it over and take it off the board. That's how you close the session.
Definitely research the rules and obey the rules when it comes to Ouija boards.
The last time we used this, again at the mill, we got excellent
Fantastic
responses
results.
on it.
Brilliant.
The second time, we used it twice in the same night in 2 different areas. The second time, interestingly, the spirit had been communicating this. We assume it was the same spirit for quite a long time, communicating through the coin, the pendulum, and the board. And I think they'd kind of had enough because as we asked the question, it slid the planchette itself to goodbye. So we took that the spirit has decided to leave and we ended the session there.
Okay. Do you have anything else here in front of us that you'd like to talk about at the moment?
So the last bit of kit we've brought with us is the spirit box. Now that scans radio signals at a very high fast rate. So we always use it at the fastest rate possible. That eliminates any possible interference, because if it's scanning so quickly, you shouldn't pick up any radio waves, people on mobile phones even, or anything like that. And also a good idea is you can sweep it either forwards or backwards. So backwards, and then if you get a word or a sentence even that is clear and it's sweeping backwards, that would sort of point more to it being a spirit, because obviously if you were sweeping a radio station backwards, anything that comes through would be in reverse, so it wouldn't make a lot of sense to
Okay.
you.
So if a ghost is talking and you played it backwards, it would make perfect sense. But if it was like I don't know, your standard radio station,
Yeah,
it would be just jargon.
basically.
Okay.
So that's that. We do normally bring a little bit extra kit. We normally have digital voice recorders.
Yeah. We've got a YouTuber rig which has got a phone on it, which we tonight we're going to be using this to record.
Okay.
Because of ease, and it's only a small location. So usually we'd have like a few cameras around the place,
Yeah.
like recording and in infrared as well.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of camera we'd normally use. This is a 4K digital camera. It's got no battery in at the moment, but we'd normally use up to 6 cameras in a location, and we have infrared illuminators. So we have 2 small ones currently that can go on a mount. So we'd mount this onto like a U grip with infrared light at the top, which just helps the camera a little bit more. Obviously, it's not naked to the not visible to the naked eye, so we're in usually complete darkness. So other than through the screen of the camera, we can't see anything. We also do have some really big illuminators that will pretty much illuminate any room. They run off batteries, big like 9-volt batteries, or 12-volt batteries, so like a motorbike battery. Because it's only a small location, we decided to go with the phone and just some basic equipment tonight.
Alright, so this is your kit for this evening, and well, that sounds pretty good. Thank you for talking us through that.
Important thing to say as well is we always see, before we do anything, try and find a logical reason for any activity we get. So a noise, we'll look to see where it came from, if we can explain it in any other way before we go down and say it's
try and
paranormal.
debunk things first, and then if we can't do that, we think it could be a spirit.
Right, so you want to like run out the logical reasons first. Is it a car outside?
That's it.
Is it somebody's laundry? Is it somebody's radio?
That's right.
If you rule out all of that stuff first, only then will you consider the possibility of ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds excellent.
Okay.
Finally, on a final note, before we end this video, I understand you've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Would you like to plug that so that people can like watch the all this on
So
YouTube?
on YouTube, just search for Morris and Anderson Paranormal. We're also on Facebook. Again, that's Morris and Anderson Paranormal. Instagram, I think, is MA Paranormal, and I think we've got a Twitter, but can't remember what that is either.
Okay.
So,
So I believe you said after you finished your investigation tonight, you're going to, for the next week, go over the footage you've got,
yeah,
and in about a week's time, it'll be on your YouTube channel, yes?
that's right, yeah.
Okay. So anyone interested, by all means, check out your YouTube video,
Yeah.
YouTube channel, your past videos, and hear Awesome Source. It should be up in a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
No worries.
I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And on that note, we're going to end this video here.
Cool.
And it's just brilliant. Thank you.
Right, good night, guys.
Bye.
Okay, and yeah.